Yep. Hello.
Okay, that's good. So we got the message from Eric that they are okay. Let's see. So this is Yanis from lightpaintingblog.com, and this is Janne Parviainen. And today we're gonna have an interview with the artist of the month for July, Eric Pare and Kim Henry. I hope I pronounced them right. So I'm gonna call them right now and let's see how that goes. This is the first time we're actually doing this stuff, so please be kind to us and let's hope that this whole thing works. Let's see. I see a wall. Is that this? Is that my wall or no?
Good morning.
Hello. We see you.
Hello.
How you doing?
How are you?
We're fine. How are you?
Good.
It's great.
It's nice to have you in the chat window like that and to see you. Like, I still don't know how to pronounce your name, but you're one.
I'm Yanis.
You're Yanis, but
And I'm Janne.
Janne.
Jan.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's similar.
So you're one of the only light painter I knew before I started to do that. So it's quite amazing to have you in here.
Excellent.
It's nice to have you guys here, and thank you for accepting our invitations. Where are you at the moment?
In Montreal, Canada.
In Montreal.
Oh, you're
okay.
in Montreal. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Very good. So you have been selected by us to be the featured artist of the month for July. Yes, great success. Here comes the trumpets and everything.
Try to imagine them.
Yeah. I had another button here, but I'm missing that. Anyway, and we're gonna ask you a couple of questions about the whole thing, how you do your stuff, and the whole process and stuff like that.
Good.
So, are we okay with sounds and stuff like that? This is our first time actually doing the Skype interview thing. So, if there is something not working, just give a note or whatever.
So you're hearing us fine and everything is
Sounds
okay?
Everything is good. Okay, that's great. All right. So, yes. So, how did you all started with light painting? It's like, how did that started? It's gonna take you
I
a
don't
while
know. So about 5 years ago, something like that, I was doing 360 stuff, live events, no light painting at all. And then we got asked for a little bit of light painting during an event, like for a brand. They asked us to do light painting. For me, like I had absolutely no interest for that. But the only thing I knew about light painting was like drawing a heart or these things. Was like, okay, let's do it. And so we did a few events, but it wasn't really me who was doing it. It was more like people were playing with the lights. It was cool. But at the end of the tour, we had a few weeks off and we decided to install the whole structure, the full 360 structure in my small studio. And we invited Patrick Rochon because he's in Montreal, and just to see like what we could come up with. And it totally changed my my impression of what light painting is. This guy is serious about what he's doing. This is like he's an artist, and seeing him work made me see things differently with light painting. I was already a photographer, but like this thing was something new for me. I was not interested in doing what he was doing. It's just that I got inspired by his way of working and a couple of tools that he was using. So of course I learned a lot just by watching him. But what I was really interested at that moment was to do to freeze my subject in 360 without revealing the cameras. And light painting was a solution because I couldn't use strobes because the strobes were lighting up the rig from everywhere. So I started to work with only one light around my subject, and it was kind of blurry at the beginning because I was doing 1 minute exposure. So of course my subject was always very blurry. It was cool, but the more I was doing it, and the shorter my exposure were, and the more powerful my flashlight got. So after a few weeks, I got it. Once again, very powerful flashlight, and boom. Now I got something. I knew I was into something that wasn't my own, and that solved my problem with 360. My subject was properly lit, and it was sharp, so got very happy about that. But it was only studio photography. Can you continue?
Yes.
So,
The outdoor stuff.
outdoor. Yeah. Well, at that moment, I think like Eric was traveling a lot, and so he wanted to try to like use the same technique, like the same way of lighting his subject, but outside. And it was actually harder. Like he was not satisfied because either like he would be seen because like there's much light, and it was hard to have like to see the background and to have a subject properly lit, like to find the balance between the two. Like it took actually it took a few attempts, and the source of light was not powerful enough. It was not big enough for what you wanted to do. So
yeah, and this is why I'm asking her to start talking, because this is where she got in the thing, and we were doing workshops like a long time ago. It was just studio stuff. We were traveling together for that. We were trying sometimes to do light painting outdoors, but it was never really good. But on one of the trips, we were in San Francisco, and a friend of us, he said, "Oh, you have to go to that store because they are selling plexiglass stuff, and you're going to like it." So we went to that store, and there was a bunch of 4-feet tubes waiting for us at the entrance. And I never thought about that, but I bought only one. And we went shooting that night at the beach, and we were blown. Like it was it. Like we got the solution to do light painting in once again outdoors and still have a beautiful background. I was invisible. She was beautiful with this light, and we keep doing it. It's going to be our 2 years anniversary of the Tube Stories in a few weeks.
In a couple of weeks. Actually, I remember I followed that thing from the beginning or something like that. I remember when you even said that store changed my life when I stepped into that or something. It's like, it's really funny, although you have been like an active artist and you have been doing a lot of stuff in 360 and stuff like that, such a small thing can change your whole like artistic way of being or something. It's like it changes your point of view and where your direction in a way or something. Because
important.
This thing has created you. It has blown away. It's like this community. What you did is like, it's amazing. It's like, can you tell us a little bit about that? It's like how that came up.
I'm a lucky guy. That's for sure.
Well, I don't know. It kind of did open like a door of creativity, like because the possibilities are like humongous, like of because now it's not only like to look for a nice light painting studio shot, but now it became like a whole kind of well, I don't know, it's kind of an artistic signature, like the landscape, so how to make them fit well together, like create kind of an ambiance.
Yeah, matching the color of the tube with the background. We did a lot of tests before finding the right one. It's quite complex, but the end result is super simple. Like there's not much in our picture. Like it's Kim in the background, and that's about it.
Yes, but still your picture has your own style now. Everybody who even doesn't know about light painting, if he knows a little bit, he can recognize your style.
That's because of her. They recognize Kim.
Yeah, that's because of both you guys. It's like
the whole thing.
yes, exactly. It's like that. And there is not a lot of styles in light painting that can be recognized immediately by people. Janne is another example of that or something like that.
Exactly. This is what I was about to say. When I started light painting, and just after I found out that light painting is not only making hearts, I started to browse, and I found your things, and I was like, oh, okay, he got something. And then I found out about Palatette and Darren Pearson.
Yes, good.
And I was like, wow, okay, there's something going on. I want to be part of that.
Yeah, it's
and
great.
it's fun to meet in different events. Like we work a little bit with Palatette in Germany. We work with Darren Pearson twice. It's super fun, like to just travel and meet those people. Everywhere we go now, we have friends because of the light painting.
Exactly. And
That's cool.
This is great.
It's a
This is
great community.
And you are very welcome to come and visit us here in Finland. We have really nice landscapes, especially in the summertime. In the wintertime, it might be a little bit cold, but then again, you come from Canada, you know that stuff. It's like, all right. Okay. Janne, do you want to ask something?
Yeah, something that's interests me always in art is what do you wish to tell with your work? Is there some meaning or something you want people to see from your work?
Oh,
You are?
Deeper.
I'll add on.
Okay, so for me, it's like kind of abstract. Okay, you just think whatever you want of that picture. We're not trying to solve any problems on Earth with what we're doing. Okay,
Yeah.
we're aware of that. Like it's not going to save children. It's not going to do anything big, except that it inspires a lot of people to go out and create. And that's enough for me. That's more than enough.
This is big enough, I would
Yeah,
say,
it
or
is.
something like that. Yeah,
So many people they contacted me and they said like they knew nothing about photography. They started photography because of the tubes, and they have a passion now, and they go to play with friends outdoors creating art. When they do that, they're not robbing a bank.
No. Exactly. No, this is really important, actually. It might be not direct message that you want to pass or something, but spreading inspiration to other people is really an important factor. And especially nowadays that everything is gloomy and dark and like everything doesn't go good, the world, blah, 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 whatever. So people need inspiration. And this, from you guys, this is exactly what I admire or something. It's like you have created, maybe without even wanting that in the first place, but it happened that you have created a community for a lot of people who didn't know anything about light painting and maybe even, like you said, anything about photography in general, to be inspired to start to try to do that stuff because of you guys. Thumbs up. Very good.
And then to keep like searching for themselves, like, because once again, it's just a door that opens like onto like photography, light painting, like in all this community. So now they can like look at other artists and try to find like their own way of using all these techniques, tools that are there. And
And I have to joke about this, that I'm totally abusing the members of the group because I've learned so much from them, because they just started to try different things, and we're like, okay, let's try that. And like so many things were born in the group, and we are using those tricks these days. So it's super fun. Like we're all growing together in that community. It's as you guys are like in the communities for like the real one, the hardcore community for you've been there for a long time. I think like, we can talk about that subject. It might not go in the interview, but just between us, it's hard to make the connection between the two. Like the old, like all of us that has been there for so long, and the two community. Most of them have no idea what is the light painting community. Like the what has been done for the past 10 years, they have no idea because they know the tubes and that's it. So, and most of them are not even in the LPWA website. So, I don't know if you heard about that. Like, where are we going to that? Are we going to try to mix everything together at some point? I don't know.
I think this will go by its own way. You cannot really force stuff anyhow to happen. If it is supposed to happen, maybe some people of those wants to get into more other ways of light painting also. Maybe they just like that technique, what you do, or that style, and they want to keep on doing that. You know, it's like
You know, last year when Gianni Leonardo did his contest, there was a couple of tube shots. This year, I think it would have been full of tubes, but it looks like he's not doing it this year.
Really? No. The contest, I don't know. I think it's not happening this year or something. But probably if it's happening, I'm sure you're going to have a lot of entries there somehow. Not directly, but from other people or something like that.
Yeah. I don't know.
But that's good. Janne?
Yeah. Could you name maybe 3 of your favorite artists? Somebody who like inspires nowadays in the beginning, who do you follow?
Okay, so in the light painting world, it's Palatet, Darren Pearson. I'm not doing his style. Oh, it's just like the way he works and his character. And third one, well, there are so many. Maybe I will jump away from the light painting. I really love what Benjamin Van Wong is doing. He's a friend of mine. He's from Montreal too. He speaks French just like us. And you know that guy?
Yeah. I know the guy.
Yeah. So yeah, he's a good inspiration. He's doing things that are changing the world.
That are meaningful in another way.
Yeah.
And he's doing that in a good spirit. That's what I like about this guy. He gets involved into, I don't know him personally or whatever, but I like all his projects and I like the spirit that he approaches everything or something. He's again, it's like, this is nice. I don't know what is happening up there in Canada or something like that, but you have a lot of this kind of inspiring people. That's good. Keep on doing what you do. Is that the water or what is it? It's like...
I don't know. Like the way I see it, it's spread across the globe. There's a lot of inspiring people everywhere. In Canada, Montreal is a place for creativity. It's been like that for a long time. But there's no money here. We are the poorest place in Canada and Canada and United States together. But we have a lot of fun here.
Sometimes limitations boost up creativity also.
Yeah, it
if
is.
there is no money, then you have to find another way to do actually something. So that's not necessarily a bad thing. Okay, how about, I will go into more weird stuff. It's like, how about like creative blocks? You are an artistic unity. I don't think that there is any artist that doesn't get these blocks sometimes or something. Do you get sometimes these kind of blocks? It's like nothing works, or like there is some period that you don't do. No,
because I don't have enough time to do everything I have in my head.
That's good. That's good.
I don't know. I know what you're talking about, and sometimes I read people saying that they like they are blocked, they don't have inspiration. It just doesn't happen for me. But I'm doing many other things. Like I'm running a business. I do coding. I do a lot of different things. I don't have enough time to do light painting. So when I can do it, like when we're traveling, it's always about light painting. And like I have a urge to go outdoors and to try all the things that we thought about, because we're always talking about different things that we want to try. Mm-hmm. So we have a list of things that are waiting to be tried. And I think it's changed a little bit for the past month, that when we think about things, it's not just about creating the visual, but documenting how we do it and to share it with the tube community. Because we might do something cool, but they will take that and do something else with it. And some people is going to solve their problems, because we always have the same questions like, I cannot find the tubes in my country, okay, can you help me, blah, blah. I'm always trying to push further to find a universal solution that's going to work for everyone. We're not there yet. Mm. It's hard to find tubes if you're in Morocco, for example.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think so far we haven't had like any creative blocks, but like, which doesn't mean it's always a success every time we go out.
Yeah.
Though. Like, of course. So yeah, it happens. I won't say often, but you know, it happens that like the conditions are bad, and for some reason, like I'm not as inspired. He's not inspired by, you know. So
yeah.
But the only thing for me that is really blocking a shooting is the clouds.
Yeah.
If it's like it was snowing a few days ago, and we did it anyway. So there's always a way to do it, but sometimes, like I remember one perfect evening in the desert in California, sand desert. We had the perfect spot. Kim in between two sand dunes. It was just perfect, and the moon behind her. But the clouds were like sheets, very thick and not interesting at all. So nothing good came out of that night. Like we work outdoors, so it happens.
It happens, yes, exactly.
We've all been there.
And maybe actually that's what you say, that you don't keep enough time to think about like the stuff, and you have a busy schedule and you're trying to do all the stuff. Maybe this is your way to actually work through that. And if you say that you don't have blocks, is when you keep on doing, maybe you don't get enough time to get blocks, you know, like even if you are blocked, then you will do over that block or something.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what else?
And I think also like since like he's a very busy person, also like sometimes we have ideas and it doesn't work, but he's the kind of person also who won't like you know what I mean? Like you do a few attempts and like you're ready to let go about an idea quite easily, like if it's not working, you know. So we don't like keep on
like being stuck into something. Hello.
So yeah, just we keep going and we move on to the next thing. So maybe that helps also.
Yeah, that's good. Keep an open mind and an open vibe for the whole thing. You mentioned that you run another business. It's like, are you do other stuff except light painting? I was not aware of that. It's like, do you want to share what are you doing? It's like.
Yeah, I do 360 photography, which involves light painting most of the time.
Oh, right, okay.
So I have a team of 8 people working here in the studio, programmers, technicians, video editor, and I have 3 studios now, and recently we started to do 3D scanning.
I saw this teaser. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Stuff. Like, really,
I don't have any interest for that, but it's the same equipment, same software.
So why not?
Like,
Exactly.
let's use it.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And it looks cool. It's like, and
Yeah.
of course, it opens other possibilities for you guys also. That's great. That's great. Janne, do you have something in your mind?
Yeah, about your own artwork, do you have any special like favorite artworks from your own like photos? Interview.
If I have like my favorite pictures that we've done, is that the question?
Yeah.
Okay. So I was thinking about that yesterday because we did 2 pictures like in our early tube work that we don't really know how we did them. And it's kind of a mystery. So I would say like it's these 2 ones, and one is from our I think turn shooting, and the other one not long after that. We're looking at those pictures. We're like, I don't know, I don't know what happened.
Are you talking about the sand one?
The sand in Dubai and the one in Mont Tremblant. So I can include you these 2 pictures. So one of them is the most basic thing that you can imagine is just one clear tube with 2 flashlights, and I just swipe behind Kim. But the colors, the texture of the tube, the shape, I've never been able to do it like that since then, and I've been practicing that shape in the 3 latest strips that we've done. Like I keep looking at that picture, how did I do that? And I try to do it. It's never the same. And there's the second one is in Dubai. It's the first time we shot in the sand dunes with the tube. So I've been able to swipe some sands out of the tube, creating some cool shapes around the tube. And I've never been able to do that. I've been trying many times, and it's never the same. And it's the only one from that series, I think. That works. We've been lucky.
How about Kim? Do you have some specific photo?
It's hard.
There's so many.
There are lots of. You have like amazing material.
Well, because to me it's also like not only the final image, but also like all the experience that it recalls when I look at that image. So probably like I could think of one that we did in Uni like
the Salt Flats.
In the Salt Flats. Like it was at 4 a.m. in the morning, so it was super calm and it was cold, but like it's a blue and white, really simple, but somehow like I really like the feeling of that picture. And another one that I think he doesn't really like, but for some reason I really like it. It was taking it's one of the only, because sometimes we are able to capture the Milky Way in one exposure. So, and the first time we did that, it was in near Las Vegas. And for some reason, I really liked the feeling of that picture, and so but I know he doesn't really like it. C'est là avec le grand noir puis le Milky Way avec Vegas derrière.
Okay.
I know,
That's hard.
No, it's not your favorite,
Yeah, getting the Milky Way in the tube in one exposure it's hard. It's very hard. So these pictures are super grainy, and of course I have to post-process the Milky Way in Photoshop, because when you take it, you see it with the naked eye and you see it on the picture, but it's very dim, so you have to apply the special editing things in Photoshop for the Milky Way. But then as it's a longer exposure, high ISO, it's a bit noisy. But Yeah. But I know that these pictures are always working great on Instagram because of the Milky Way, but it's not the same quality for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm guessing that you're actually no, I'm not guessing. I'm going to ask you. It's like you mentioned a couple of times now about this editing stuff. There is this in the hardcore community of light painting. This debate is like straight out of camera or not. It's like who's this is not allowed and this kind of stuff. What is your opinion about that?
Let people do what they want to do. That's it. So
I'm totally with you in this, but anyway.
yeah, I'm totally okay with and I admire the light painters who do everything in camera. It's very cool. It's not always possible. In our case, it's not always possible, but it's not just that. I've been doing Photoshop since version 1. That means 26 years ago. And light painting is still new in my life. So for me, it was normal, okay? And I did a lot of compositing in my early days. My early days meaning 1 year ago. Mm-hmm. I don't do that anymore because I'm getting much better
in skills. Mm-hmm.
At just framing correctly and spending more time outdoors, less time on the computer. And also, the more we work, the more we go to perfect places. Like when we went to the salt flats last time, we know what to expect. Like we know the place, and we knew it was perfect for the tubes without doing any editing or very basic editing. But of course, I really like what Paratel is doing with no Photoshop at all, and that's great, and it's the whole experience that he's making live to his fans or the people that shoots with him. There's a few light painters who are able to do like very professional light painting without editing, and that's great. In my case, try to do the less possible, but I'm okay to do so, and I told it many times the group, you guys, you can do it. It's okay. Like there's a guy who replaced the tube with the moon, and some people got like, oh no, it's not light painting, blah blah blah.
It's your creative voice.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
yes.
so just let people do what they want to do, and don't get mad at them for using the tools they want. I had a good discussions about that with Jason, light painting brushes. He's a SOC guy, like a pure one, and that's okay. And I was telling him, like, you're using a rotation machine. Someone built that machine. It's a tool. The tool I'm using is Photoshop for some reason. I could have used Photoshop or rotation. I'm not doing that, but my point was that it's just another tool. And I know that some people would like to kill me for saying these things. Anyway. Are you guys doing Photoshop?
I don't ever use Photoshop, but I'm really open because I'm not the fundamentalist in this issue. I myself like it straight out of the camera, but I think light painting is not about only that. It's like I'm really okay with Photoshop and everything.
But for you, Photoshop would not be a good tool. Like the way you work, that you draw in advance, like you create your scene, and then you draw it with light. I mean, that's the process. No Photoshop can be involved in that. It would be meaningless.
Yeah.
In our case, like when we work outdoors, it's harsh condition. It's hard sometimes. And sometimes I'm not perfectly aligned behind Kim. And sometimes I'm wearing something very big on me that I have to give her back so she can warm herself. And I'm stuck with it. Okay, I'm stuck with that big thing. So it sometimes it becomes visible in the picture and I have to Photoshop them out. I did that yesterday again. You know, like we try to adapt, and we have just 15 minutes per day to shoot.
Yeah.
And sometimes everything looks perfect. We have the perfect place, conditions are great, it's not too cold. And then exactly when the blue hour comes, like at that perfect moment where we have to start shooting and that we know it's not going to last very long, it starts to wind like crazy. or the bugs come out, and then and then it's super hard. So Photoshop is saving me sometimes from little things like that.
You definitely should come to Finland. It's only blue hour in here. It's hours and hours of blue hour in the evening. It would be perfect for you.
Sounds good.
Nice.
Do you actually shoot only in blue hours or what?
Well, mostly.
Yeah, most of the
So
time.
the
Okay.
Finnish summer night is only blue hour. It's like, I think around, is it like 4 or 5 hours of this blue?
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
And it's not too cold.
No, it's
in
warm.
the
It's
summer it's
about
nice.
like- Yeah. It's about 20, I think this night it will be like 20 degrees warm, like Celsius degrees. So it's nice.
Good.
And do you have
So,
you have northern lights at this time?
no,
no,
actually in Lapland the sun doesn't set at all. It's only like the sun is shining through the night. But in Helsinki it's this like 4 or 5 hours of blue.
But no, he was asking about the northern lights. Northern lights is mostly visible in the winter
In
time.
the winter time.
Yeah,
It needs a dark sky to be visible.
yeah. And here in Helsinki, but anyway, there is a lot of places that Finland is mainly. I think it's quite similar to Canada. It's mainly like forests and stuff like that.
Yeah, but Montreal is way more south
Okay.
than Helsinki. And if we want to have something similar than
Yeah.
your thing,
You have to go up.
there's no road to go there. It's a wasteland. Barely no one is living there in Canada.
Sounds like Finland. Finland is like that with roads.
Okay, I have another question a bit related to this. About how do? You travel to all these countries. How do you do your scouting? How does this work with you guys? I have seen some videos that you just take some recommendation and just walk around or just go some places, or how do you do that?
Well, it depends. Like, sometimes we go to places where, for instance, like in Bolivia, we knew, like, for a year that we wanted to go there because, like, we knew the place. So we had a guide, and during the day we would leave like in early afternoon, and then we would like find a spot for that night and then stay there and shoot some other stuff like yoga or dance stuff. So yeah, once we're on a location, we do location scouting for like during the same day. And we try, if possible, to go back to the same area a few days in a row, just to have like different visuals. Like for instance, like in the White Sand, we went for 4 nights, and we never had the same thing because it's like
Different cloud formations, different dunes, different mood.
yeah.
So results are always different. So most of the time, yeah, we try to go twice in the same place, and the second night most of the time is better.
It's better, yeah.
Yeah.
And we do mornings also.
Yeah, we did a few mornings,
Yeah.
but these are harder because like you start when you're not totally awake. You have 15 minutes and then
it's dark, yeah.
then it's done. So it goes so fast because when we do the sunset, then we continue. Even if it's dark, sometimes we continue, and sometimes we get cool things like the Milky Way stuff.
Yeah.
But also about location scouting, sometimes we just ask people.
Yeah.
Like last time we went to Vegas, we just sent a message on Instagram. We're going in Vegas. Who wants to shoot with us? And then we have new friends because of that, and they brought us to Valley of Fire, which was just perfect for us. Beautiful rocks and Vegas in the background, creating a beautiful glow of light.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah, that's really good because like working with local artists allows us to like to go to places that we could not have found other ways. Like we could have found them, but it would have taken like days of location scouting.
Yeah, totally.
So yeah, so people are super nice and are sharing locations with us. So and then we share a night of shooting together, and so it's a win-win.
This is a great situation. This is part of where the community is really helpful for everybody or something like that. When you say about places, and we have been many times with Janne, we go outdoors shooting, and it's always, I admire the people who can immediately, Janne has this thing, for example, he can go and improvise in any place without any ideas or something like that, and without knowing the place. For me, I am the second day guy. It's like I will go there second time and I will see and this kind of stuff. It's like, but this is a gift. This thing is like, yeah. But yeah, all right. Janne, do you have something else in your mind?
Yeah, I have actually 20. I have battery power in my laptop for about 10 minutes, so I will. There's one question I want to ask first. Where do you see light painting as an art medium going in the future? So basically, how it's going to develop in the future?
It's going to explode.
Yeah.
It's going to explode. It's gonna get so much bigger because I feel that brands, well, agencies are going to recognize light painting as a form of art that can be branded. So not everyone is going to go there because a lot of artists don't want to use their stuff commercially. We do. We had good deals previously, and I think it's cool because it's something that is created by hand. It's not made with a computer. And most of the time, when these brands or these agencies got interested to create visuals with light painting, they also do documentaries that comes with that. So it makes us see more artists growing, and I see many like these artists that have their first commercial gigs and then they become better at their art because suddenly it becomes more real. So so they do more and they expand, and so I feel that it's going to grow a lot, especially in India and China.
Okay.
Because these two countries are exploding currently, and a lot of artists are growing, and brands are starting to do projects with them. So I feel that these two countries are going to explode, and we'll see many new artists coming out of these countries.
Yeah, well, that's yes.
Right.
All right. All right, guys. Thank you very much for this.
So we'll see you in Finland, I guess.
I really hope so. It would be great to meet you in person also. Anytime you want, you're welcome.
Okay, great. I hope it's going to happen. Like you're turning us on with the eternal blue hour.
And there's like amazing, beautiful, like these lakes.
Yeah,
and like
it's actually
it would be perfect for you.
If you come, we can arrange to go to some forest and stuff like that. It would be really nice.
Wow. Okay. Well, I hope it's going to happen.
We can make it happen. We can make it happen. All right.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you very much. Have a good night or good day for you. Take care.
Thanks.
Ciao.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.